Hello, everybody. You've tuned into the Indiana State Police Roadshow. I'm Sergeant Rich Myers with District 52 Public Information Office. I'm your host for the Roadshow, brought to you by the Indiana State Police Alliance, Cops for Kids, and a subsidiary of the Indiana State Police Alliance, and Tom Trowell, who's got us on the camera here. We thank him for being with us each and every week. Got a new guest, brand new guest. Never been here before in his life. Is that right, Tony?
I feel like I've been here before because I listen to a lot of radio stations in this building, but I've never had the honor of stepping up to the big leagues and appearing on your radio show.
Well, we appreciate you being down here and taking time out of your busy schedule. Sergeant Tony Slocum, who is the Public Information Officer for the Peru Post, up straight up 31.
Straight up 31. About
God's
halfway.
country?
We call it God's country. 7 counties that we cover out of the Peru Post.
And what counties are those?
Oh, you're going to make me name them all.
Yep.
I could, but there's 7 of them. North Central Indiana. We're about halfway between South Bend and Indianapolis. Beautiful place to work. I'm a transplant myself, having grown up here in Indianapolis. I transferred up to the Peru Post about 15 years ago, and my wife tells me I love it up there.
So what year did you come out of the academy?
1999. I was lucky enough to get stationed in Indianapolis, my hometown.
Okay.
But, of course, I met my wife, and I wanted to live in Indianapolis. She wanted to live up in Fulton County, where we live now, one of the 7 counties that we do cover. And we compromised, and we moved to Fulton County. So that's how I ended up there. But
you compromised by doing what she said.
Right, because I understand that's a smart thing to do. And happy life, happy wife, or whatever that saying goes. So the Peru Post is a wonderful place to work, very family-oriented post. And one thing I like about being in the smaller area, so to speak, is you're able to get entrenched in the community a little bit more. You're not going from call to call all the time.
Right.
It happens sometimes, obviously, weather dependent, things like that. But for the most part, we're able to actually, as a superintendent has mandated us to do, and we like to do anyways, we're able to get into those communities and be a little more of a face of the Indiana State Police.
The state police are probably just like when I was working the road and things, is the trooper is very well known in his community up there.
Right. That's a good thing and a bad thing because everybody knows where you live. That's the good people and the bad people. But one of the awesome things about it is we know who the bad guys are, the players, so to speak, that commit crimes in our communities. But, Indiana's made of mostly rural counties, and having grown up in the inner city of Indianapolis, obviously moving to the country was a big change for me, but that's just one of the great aspects of being an Indiana State Trooper is you get to do a lot of things and see many sides of the great state of Indiana.
Well, I know one of the things that you are heavily involved in that we're going to kick off talking about here is the camps. You've been a camp director for many years up there, haven't you?
Right. I run a camp out of Anderson University for junior high children, kids entering 7th and 8th grade, and this will be my 10th year at the camp. This will be my 5th year, actually, being the director for the camp. And it's one of the joys that we get to do in the Indiana State Police is expose young people to a career in law enforcement. With the many things you hear about on the news, you would think everything's all bad and we're monsters or things like that, but we're just people trying to do the best we can to make our communities better. Mm-hmm. And one way to do that is reach out through all the camp programs. We have camps for children entering 5th grade all the way up to high school seniors, and we have them on college campuses. So what I love is the twofold aspect of, one, exposing children to what we believe is the greatest career you can have in law enforcement, and then also exposing kids to the college environment, utilizing different college facilities. The camp I run is at Anderson University, and they're always a great host to us. And, of course, you get the different aspect of the Colts actually holding training camp up there and things like that. So and then the last part of the camps that I really love is the children are from every part of the state of Indiana. We also have children that come from out of state periodically, and they get to finally see, hey, there's people in the world that are different than me. There's people that think differently than I do, but that doesn't mean we can't get along and come together for a common goal, which is a lot of times at camp is playing sports or learning how to march, getting up early. I can tell parents now that having been in the camps for 10 years that children can get up early, they can clean their rooms, they can follow directions.
Except for at home.
At home, I know. But I'm telling them, I've seen it, a little bit of push-ups and some voice motivation in the morning seems to help things out. We're not a boot camp. We do have some discipline that we instill due to having large groups of young people, but we'd love to have your people. And again, you can go on trooper.org, the website, and it has applications, photos, information, or you can call any Indiana State Police post and receive information about our camp. So we'd love to have your children entering 5th grade all the way up to senior in high school. And of course, I would love to have your junior high co-ed boys and girls overnight camp if you want to come to Anderson and come to what I believe is the best camp out there.
Well, I know a lot of times, and this is something I shove or push on the kids, and when they go to campus, grab a kid that you like, and you can room with that kid. So,
right.
Yeah, you stay with that kid and you room with that kid, and it's a fun. How many days is yours?
My camps that I operate is going to be 3 nights, 4 days.
Okay.
It's a Wednesday through Saturday afternoon. And I think I said their overnight camps costs are pretty reasonable. I believe my camp's somewhere around $150, and you can't get a babysitter for a week for that much. You're getting state police officers and other police officers, law enforcement professionals to interact with your children, and we do have a nurse on our staff who volunteers her time. So you do have medical supervision because a lot of children nowadays are taking different kind of medications, so she's able to oversee that. And all the camps have different medical professionals on staff. So I'm kind of biased. Obviously, there are a lot of camps where you can send your children, but I don't think any are better than the Indiana State Police. And the reward that we receive, I believe, is more so than what the children receive. And it's an exhausting 4 days, but it's well worth it, and I'm already looking forward to it.
Good. Well, again, go to trooper.org if you want to see the information about that, or you can go to our Indiana State Police website, and there's a link on there to the camps also. But let's change gears here a little bit and talk about something else that you guys are going to be doing up there in Peru here coming up pretty soon is the Law Day.
Yeah, we've had what we call Law Day, and what it entails, we partner with, we have Grissom Air Force Base up in our area in Miami County, and we partner with them. They provide us with the aircraft hangar, and then the Indiana State Police, in conjunction with the Miami County Sheriff's Department, hosts what we call a Law Day. We invite all the 6th graders from the Miami County school corporations. I believe there's 3 different corporations, over 600 6th graders that come to Grissom Air Force Base, and then what we do is we set up 13 booths, different law enforcement booths, whether that's forensic science, whether that's drug enforcement, our bomb squad guys, and not just the Indiana State Police and the Sheriff's Department, but we also have the FBI that comes in, the Drug Enforcement Agency. Every now and then we'll have some Secret Service agents, and the children will spend all day at this, what we call Law Enforcement Day, and they will rotate through the different booths throughout the day. Then they'll have lunch at the Air Force hangar, and we bring in a DJ so they're able to dance and move about during that portion during lunch. And this was started over 20 years ago by a retired, now deceased, Indiana State Police Sergeant Kenny Rowland.
Right.
Kenny Rowland started this from scratch when he was a trooper. He was elected eventually to be the Miami County Sheriff, and so that's how both departments come together every year. And usually the first week or second week in May, I believe somewhere around May 15th, we try to host this event because that's when John F. Kennedy signed into legislation that would be a National Law Enforcement Day. So we also try to do things to remind children that this job is dangerous, but again, exposing them. So we do play taps. We have a folding of the flag. If we have any officers, which the last couple of years in our district we haven't, that have died, we make sure we let the children know about those stories. But all in all, it's just a fun day where the young people can come and interact, again, with law enforcement. And again, this all started 20 plus years ago with Sergeant Kenny Rowland, and it's still continuing his legacy today.
That's great. That's wonderful to hear. Well, again, you've tuned into the ISP Roadshow with Sergeant Tony Slocum from the Peru Post. I'm your host, Sergeant Rich Myers, and it's brought to you by the Indiana State Police Alliance. You guys are going to be doing a fundraiser up there here pretty soon, too.
Right. As you know, Superintendent Carter's mandated that we, again, get involved in our community, solve problems in our community. And last year, we had a dodgeball tournament. It was called Dodging for Lexi. And Lexi is the daughter of Trooper Wendell Beachy and his wife, Elizabeth. And she had some very serious medical issues. They were having to take young Lexi to Fort Wayne for different doctor visits and things. And they live in Miami County, so That's an hour plus drive just to get to the medical facilities to get the care that she needs. Last year, we saw the need for the Beachy family to take care of their medical expenses and anything else that they would need in Lexi's care. So we started the dodgeball tournament, Dodging for Lexi. And I believe last year we had over 40 teams, 6-man teams. I believe it was $100 per team. Also, the Miami County, Peru area community came together to donate raffle items like NASCAR jackets, of course, bake sale goods, things like that. Anything you could think of, we probably had something to raffle off. And that was in conjunction with the Indiana State Police Alliance. They helped us out immensely with that. And we raised over $12,000 on one Saturday hosting a dodgeball tournament for Lexi's medical needs. And Trooper Beachy just yesterday was saying how much that has really helped them and how Lexi has improved health-wise.
Good.
Now, unfortunately, there's other people that have a need in our community. And Trooper Beachy learned about a young lady whose name I don't know at this time, but she's an 8-year-old Miami County girl who has a serious lung disease, life-threatening lung disease. And again, her family already fighting, trying to pay medical bills and travel expenses, things like that to get her care. But then her house burned down just recently.
Oh, my word.
So on top of that, I can't imagine the trials and tribulations that they're going through. So we're still going to call our tournament Dodging for Lexi because that's how it started. But now we're going to host the tournament in honor of this 8-year-old Miami County girl, hopefully just trying to give back to our community. And we hope it can be bigger and better than it was last year. I advise anybody just stay tuned. We'll put out information here soon. Probably sometime in the first week of June, which is when we hosted it last year. If you're interested in playing dodgeball or just donating or just coming out to be a spectator, it was a great event. I was in awe how much support we received from the community. But again, this is something that we're trying to make sure, again, letting people know we are invested in these communities. Crime is not just a police problem. Having medical issues, not just a family problem. It's all our problems. So we're trying to do our part, and hopefully others will engage with us to do what we can to make our communities a better place.
That sounds like a wonderful event, and I'm keep me updated, and we'll get the information out on that. That's a great event. One of the last things that we were talking about before we got on air here is prom time's coming up, and you guys kind of promote something with your prom each year up there in Peru.
Well, we've done for the last at least 17 years what we call a DUI Prom Program. It's 2 parts. We have what we call the fatal vision goggles, or some people call them beer goggles, where we set up a cone obstacle course, and then we get a golf cart, and we let the high school age students, usually juniors and seniors, drive this cone course utilizing the fatal vision goggles. Trying to give them, obviously not a sensory perception, but a visual perception of how it is if you were to drive impaired. And in conjunction with that, we also have speakers come in, like myself or someone from SAD, other law enforcement professionals. We also show videos of the impact that DUI crashes or driving under influence crashes has on people and on the community. Just trying, one, to have the serious aspect with the speakers, but then having a little fun with the golf cart. And again, trying to do our part to engage students. I believe somewhere in Indiana, licensed drivers from 16 to 20 are somewhere around 6% of the drivers, but they result in 25% of the fatalities in our state. I believe those numbers are pretty consistent. Unfortunately, every 52 minutes, approximately, someone in the United States is killed by a drunk driver or an impaired driver. So we want to get the message out to the young people while we can. And we have 3 schools, Caston, Lewis Cass, and Pioneer, who have invited us to come out and do these programs. And again, if anyone else wants programs, we can do that throughout the state of Indiana. So we're happy to continue that tradition on, and hopefully we're preventing young people from getting out behind the wheel and driving while impaired.
Oh, great. Well, Tony, we're out of time. I appreciate you coming in here today and being with me, driving all the way down from wonderful Peru, Indiana, and you're welcome back anytime you want to come down.
Always happy to come to my home city, so I love it here, and thanks for having me.
Oh, great. Well, again, you've been listening to the Indiana State Police Roadshow, brought to you by the Indiana State Police Alliance. Cops for Kids, a subsidiary of the Indiana State Police Alliance. I've been talking to Sergeant Tony Slocum, the Public Information Officer from the Peru Post. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you stay buckled up, keep those kids buckled up, and be safe. Roadshow out.